for collectors.
We interrupt this program. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow.
All right, Midlife Nation. It is a For Collectors Takeover. This Sunday night, the For Collectors live stream will be infiltrated by Midlife Nation. We are going to find our way into their castle. We are going to take over their headquarters. And we are going to run the live stream this Sunday night. Down goes the flag of For Collectors. And instead, we will replace it with Midlife Nation. Yes, indeed, I will be joined by my crew for this takeover. I've got Darren of Return to Collecting. He will be live with me. We've got the Mike Petty, the original Heartbreaker himself, and none other than Tony, the Southern Collector. You will not want to miss the For Collectors Takeover as Midlife Nation comes in and joins forces. And yes, we will have an additional special guest to join us. Sunday night, Midlife Nation invades For Collectors. This is going to be a good one. You will not want to miss it. We will share stories, we will share cards, and we will share our love for the hobby. If you are out there and you are hearing this, you don't want to miss it. For Collectors will have Midlife Live Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We are live. Thank you to my friends at For Collectors, all 5 of them. We are thrilled to be here tonight. It is an honor to take the stage of the For Collectors platform for just one night. This is a big day for me. I've talked about this on my channel repeatedly. My book went live on Amazon today. Today, you can now buy it. I'll put a link in the comments in a few minutes. But first, I've got to get the guys out because I've got a full backstage going on. So, D, how are you? Darren, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Greg? How's it going, man?
I'm doing great. We've got 70 people already. We are ready to roll. I mean, hey, what can you say? It's Sunday night. We're on For Collectors. And we got Tony with us too.
Hey, here we go.
I've already ordered my book, Greg. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. So, and then, we have our special guest is joining us the first half of the show. I'll explain why he's taking off early when we get there. But first, we've got the one, the only, the Mike Petty. What up, Petty?
What do you say there, trigger lips? How are you, Clark? Good to see you, Beaver Feet.
Hey.
The whole crew is ready. I promised a special guest. So for the first time on a live with Midlife Nation and now For Collectors, I think, is Jeremy Lee of Sports Cards Live. What's up, Jay Lee?
Oh,
what's up,
boy,
Porcupine?
Who's here?
I can't believe I'm here with you. Liver lips and porcupine, and wow, what a treat this is, guys. Look, I gotta hold on a second and nobody move. I gotta just take a quick little picture here. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect.
Now, when we are finished tonight, Jay Lee's got a live stream going on that's going to start in about a half hour or so. So as soon as we finish up, let's all crash over to Jay Lee's party on Sports Cards Live. Obviously, we should all be subscribed over there already. But I've got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. The first thing I want to say before I get to the comments, I do want to share out a couple of things. First thing is this. Remember, For Collectors in Strongsville will be putting on the trade night On the outro of this, it will have a little bit of information about it, but that's April 11th. If you want my book, that is a QR code that can get you to the link to have that delivered at the For Collectors Trade Night. Again, that's going to be a big deal. I am thrilled to be a part of that.
Hey, one more thing I'd like to offer to everybody that comes over and buys a book. You're going to have a setup there.
Yeah.
And for the first 24 people, they're all going to get a free Midlife Heartbreaker shirt like this one.
Oh, boy. The first
It'll be 24,
big.
So the first
we'll
24 people,
Heartbreaker shirt.
They're getting a Heartbreaker for free.
Wow. Now we're talking. So
right.
make sure you take advantage of that. Now, another thing, though, another friend who's on the stage with us, he's got a book for sale. Order Jeremy's book over on Amazon right now, Pops and Comps. I haven't seen it yet. I know Tony has one.
I got a copy.
Yeah, and Jay Lee's going to be on with me. We're going to record this week for an episode later in the week. We're going to go into depth about that. Jay Lee, I mean, this is my big release day. So I'm like, I got the adrenaline going. You're a vet. You've had your book out for a couple months, right?
Well, a couple of weeks really, but hey, congratulations on yours, Greg. It's awesome. I know the feeling and how much work goes into these. So congrats, buddy. I'm really happy for you, and I can't wait to get my copy.
I appreciate that very much. I'll put a link to Jay Lee's book, Pops and Comps, in the chat here in just a few minutes. Once I free up a little bit of time, I'm going to be jamming through the chat here in just a minute. But I kind of wanted to start off with everybody's favorite game show, which is Guess the Grade. So, guys, we've got a card. It's been graded by PSA. All right. It's been graded by PSA. And this is a Thai Cobb American Caramel. This is, nice looking card. Okay. So in the chat, go ahead and tell us what you think this card graded with PSA. And I want to give you a little bit of a closer look at it. So here's the card. To start, everybody kind of get an idea of, what you think the card would grade at. And I put Jay Lee on top. I put myself on the bottom here. Oh, we got a 3. We've got a 4. A lot of grades popping in here. I'm going to show you guys the back so you don't think that I'm hiding anything. Okay, so there's the back there. We got lots of scores coming in. Lots of 3s and 4s. We've got a 1.5. We've got a 2.5. We've got a 2 today, 3 and an older slab. And there is the card. So let's go ahead and start at the top with our guest, Jay Lee. What do you think that card graded from PSA?
Ooh, that's an easy PSA 9 right there. No, well, maybe you never. I'm gonna go. I think it was Jeremy from California. I saw in the chat went 3.5. That's what I'm gonna go with. 3.5.
Okay, we've got a 3.5. Jeremy from California. He lives just up the road from me. Great guy. He was at Strongsville last year. So I'm not sure if are you going back, Jeremy? Let us know. Next down is going to be Darren. Darren, guess the grade here.
Well, I'm going to caveat that. Let's assume this grader lost his virginity the night before he graded this and gave it a 5.
Ooh, so we have a 3.5 and we've got a 5. We've got more 5s. Okay, that brings us down to Tony, the Southern Collector.
Yeah, I'm going with Hodges. He said 4. That's kind of what I was thinking. Normally, whatever I think on these, I need to add 2. I think it should be a 2. I'm going 4.
My dad just dropped a 3 in the chat. So, Dad, thanks for representing the Miller boys from Sacramento. And we've got lots of 5, 3, 4, 2.5. Jim at the bank is here. What do you think, Petty?
I think it probably got a 3.5 as well, but I'm going to guess it. I mean, it looks like a beautiful 2, but I'll say 3. Let's just say 3 to make it easy.
All right. Well, nobody was really very close. Gosh, nobody was really even close. That, my friends, is a 1.5.
You tricked us.
No, I got to keep you on your toes, guys. I got to keep you on your toes.
It was a gorgeous 2.
It's interesting to me that cards that look like that. When I think of a 1.5 on a 10-point scale, I don't think of a card that looks like that, right?
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that a card
Brand
looks
new.
like that.
That's a brand new grade too.
That should have a gold sticker on it.
Probably will.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what is your take on the gold stickers, Jaylee?
Well, I think that I think they're great if you're selling, and they're terrible if you're buying. You know, I'd rather I like to buy my cards where the gold sticker is incoming versus already came. So, but I don't really have an issue with them. I just think they are an opinion of a supposed or so-called or legitimate expert, and some people like to see that. Some people, I understand the position that states that, I don't need someone to tell me if a card looks nice. But at the end of the day, why are we grading cards anyway? So because someone can tell us that they look nice. So I don't know. I'm okay with this, with the world of stickers, but I don't know that I would ever really pay a premium to buy one. I would rather buy it raw, and then it'd be worthy of a sticker. That's how I like to shop.
Yeah, I certainly hear that. Now, we kind of talked about that in our last live stream, what the rest of you guys think. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I just in the chat put a link. That is a link to buy Jeremy Lee's book, Pops and Comps, on Amazon. So again,
Thanks, Graig.
check that out and support Jeremy. Jim Gilliam, he already bought his pre-order for the Strongsville delivery, so he'll be getting a shirt, Mr. Petty.
Well, you'll have to keep track of that.
I got you. I'm pretty organized as a teacher. Would that even get a sticker? I mean, who knows? Okay. The sort of theme tonight is about memories. It's about stories. It's about cards being more than cards. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I kind of asked each guy to submit a card that had a little bit of a story behind it or a meaning behind it. So that's where we're going to start. All right. And the main thing we've got going right now are meaningful cards. Okay. A meaningful card. And we are going to start with Darren. Darren chose this as a meaningful card. Darren, tell us why this card is meaningful for you.
This card's meaningful to me for a couple of reasons. One, it's probably, out of all the cards that I have in my collection, it's the one that I was ready to buy, had the budget to buy, and took the longest to find it. This took me over a year to find this card when I was like locked and loaded to pick it up. So it was probably the biggest chase card that I've had since I got back into collecting. So that was kind of cool to finally get it. And then the other meaningful part of it is when I bought it at the National in Cleveland, I actually didn't even see it in the case. I was Orlando and I were looking in the case, and my dad was there, and he's like, "Hey, maybe that." He's like, "You might want that card." And I said, "Which one?" And he pointed at it, and I was staring at it, and Orlando was like, "Oh, the DiMaggio Graig." I'm like, "Oh, wait, the card I've been looking for a year and a half. I'm staring at it, don't even realize it." Great. I was a little burnt out, but was able to buy it, and it was great because when I bought it, Orlando was with me, which was cool, and he was like, I asked the guy, "Can you come down on the price at all?" And he said, "No, not on this card." And Orlando was like, "Oh, that card's," because you see those all the time. Those are common. I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And so the guy came down a little bit, and as soon as I bought it, we're both like, "This thing's so rare, it's awesome." And the dealer looked at us like he wanted to kill us, but it was great to tag team that with Orlando, which was awesome. And all in all, it was just it was a fun experience buying it, and I wanted the card for such a long time. And so that is a meaningful card to me to have in the collection. Plus, it's one of the few cards I actually keep in my office I could look at any time.
And Petty, tell the story about how this card almost ruined Strongsville 2024 for Darren. I mean, the look in the poor guy's face at the dinner of night one.
Just famished. He was just famooshed. I don't know. He discombobulated after the first day, shopping for it, didn't find it anywhere. And until he bought his first thing, he was so disappointed in his first day that he found something else better that time, and then it paid off when he waiting a little bit. We have to understand that you just can't always get what you want every time at a show, and then just take the opportunity of what's there, what they give you at the time. And It was a learning lesson for him, though, I think.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
he did
I
much better
definitely
the
was.
next time.
I was cranky actually at the show because I couldn't
Yeah.
find it, and that actually was stupid in hindsight.
Well, going the whole day without buying anything when there's that much in the room, you have
Yeah.
a sock full of cash. I mean, it can get
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
that was
disappointing.
definitely frustrating. And then
Mhm.
our friend David basically pulled me aside and said, "Just buy something because once you get the ball rolling, it'll be a lot easier." So I did, and he was right.
Yeah, and I remember you got. I think it was a beautiful Walter Johnson there, right?
Yeah.
From what's his name?
Chapel.
I forget. Chapel, yeah, Bill Chapel,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I will say this: it is a rare card, and it is a low pop card. Obviously, if it's rare, and there is also a PSA 4 that was just graded that our buddy Garrett of Ballpark Memories has for sale. So I don't know if it still is, but when he was on with Darren and I the other day,
Yeah, he had it.
ballparkmemories.com, he had one of those. So if you're out there and you say, I want that, well, check out our guy Garrett. So
Yeah,
All
if
right,
I'm
next.
influencing anybody, go to Garrett's webpage. You can
there
pick
you
it up.
go.
Yeah.
All right, next we've got Mr. Mike Petty, and he went with the 53 Stallmeyer Mickey Mantle. Tell us why this is meaningful for you.
Well, for me, I ended up getting it from one of my best pals in the hobby, my odd couple friend there. It came courtesy of Tennessee Tuxedo, and directly from his buddy Nate the Skate at the Grand Slam collectible store. He had called or sent me a text, and then called me. He said, "Hey, look what's in my store here." He showed me a picture of this. I said, "Dude," I go, I don't know. He says they're asking like 12,000. I go, "Oh yeah, I'm offering like 11,000 or 10,000." I go, "And don't leave without it." So he goes in there. He says, "Yeah, I think I'm going to buy it." And I said, "Did you get a deal?" He goes, "Nah, charge me full bore for it." I go, "He charged you?" I go, "Well, at least you got yourself a great card because I was looking for one of these for probably 5 years and never found one, especially that nice. They're generally tattered. That's probably one of the 5 nicest ones I think in the hobby, to be honest with you." And it came right out of that show. And then Tony, about 2-3 months later, he pivoted. And as you guys well know, he falls for these best wishes scams, and he had to have it. And so I said, "Well, I just might have to buy that offer." He offered it to me for what he paid for it. And I said, "I can't do that." I said, "I have to pay you 1,000 more." You remember that?
Yeah, I didn't want it, but
That's
you gotta
right.
spend it.
You wanted it, and so it went to a good cause, and it's never going to leave my collection. So I'm really honored to have it, and it's really one of my most special cards.
Well, that's super cool. I've picked up a couple of cards from Tony as well, and he definitely makes sure to get his buddies a deal. I'll say that he's always very fair, and he's got cool stuff. Yeah,
but I just couldn't, in all honesty, not pay him anything for it. And he did send me a Tennessee Vols sweatshirt, which I love. So I appreciate that. Was really nice.
Yeah. If you are out there, a couple people are asking if you are interested in buying my book on Amazon. This is the Amazon link. You can click right to it and you can buy it right now. Again, it is for sale starting today. If you scroll up a little,
going, you cheapskates.
If you scroll up a little, a link to Jeremy Lee's book, Pops and Comps, is also available. And I will put the QR code if you are going to be at Strongsville and you're interested in being one of the first 24. And I will say that I had 2 people in just the last few minutes. John Perney, thank you for your purchase of the Strongsville book delivery. And then Jason Ward, thank you as well. So I appreciate you guys very much. Means a lot to me. All right, let's go ahead and look at our next one, which is going to be the Southern Collector. Tony, tell us about this card, Tony.
Yeah, so you can't get this one out of PAX. This is my little girl, and we traveled the country with her. She was a phenomenal softball player, and so I'm gonna get choked up. Her senior weekend at FAU, I flew our other 2 children and their spouses down to Boca Raton. I flew my brother and his 2 kids down there. I flew my mom down there. I even flew her high school coach and his wife down there to see her play that last weekend. And I rented a big house for us all to stay together, except for the coaches and his wife. I let them stay with it, on their own. But she surprised me and had these cards made, and we were at dinner and she handed them to me. I cried like a baby. And there's actually another one. It's this one. That's her when she was about 7. And you can see that little determined face took her a long way. And I'll read you the back of this one. This is what got me crying. It says, Presley Liebrick finds inspiration in her dad, who has been a driving force behind her love for softball and her success on the field. Some of her favorite softball memories involve hitting with her dad and watching her games together, creating cherished moments that have strengthened their bond and fueled her passion for the sport. With her dad's support and encouragement, Presley continues to excel in softball and create lasting memories both on and off the field. So that one ain't for sale.
I'm glad. Hey, Jay, go ahead.
That one's up on that shelf, with all the tops and the Bowmans, because I love my little girl and we spent a lot of great times together. And so anyways. That's all I got.
I'm really glad I'm not going next. What do you say about that, Tony? We love you, buddy, and I'll tell you this, Tony. I've only known you, my friend, for about a year and a half, and you become one of my closest friends on earth, and not just because of how you treat me and the rest of us in the community, but because of how much we can see the love that you have for your family. And you're a special guy, and that was super cool. So we all appreciate that right there. So for collectors,
Mazel tov.
Yeah, very much. So yes, I don't know what to say. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the next one, which is Jeremy Lee of Sports Cards Live. His meaningful card. Now, I got to say, his story is pretty cool. So share with us, Jeremy, about this.
So, first of all, yeah, thanks for putting me after Tony's very emotional.
That's why you're here.
I didn't know I was going to do that. I'm sorry.
So, well, I had a card shop. I grew up in Winnipeg in Canada, so I had a shop there from 1991 till 94. And my investment in the store was really contributing my collection to it at the time. I had 2 sets of every O-Pee-Chee hockey set from the 80s, including the Gretzky year. And what I did is I gave 1 set to the store, and I took all the good cards out, all the rookies out of the other set, and contributed all of the commons and semi-stars and that to the store, so we could fill people's sets. And as people would bring in Gretzky rookies to sell to us, I would always, if they brought in one that was nicer than the one in my personal collection, I would take that one for myself and then put my personal collection copy into the store. And so after 3.5, 4 years, whatever it was, of doing that, this was the copy that was like the best one that ever came through that shop up in between 91 and 1994. And in 2008, I took it to the National in Chicago and had it graded, and that, which is kind of interesting because you can see the serial number, and I can tell you that was submitted to PSA in end of July, early August 2008. So I'm just going to read the back of this to you guys. Wayne debuted in the WHA at age 17. He's considered to be the best prospect to turn professional since Guy Lafleur. It's very expensive. Oh, for sale.
He was my favorite.
This one is not for sale. That's the story. Sorry, a little fun with Tony there, but
oh man, it's good.
Yeah, it's a great card, not for sale, and very happy to own it. Thank you for letting me tell the story.
Of course. Now, it's funny because there is actually an incredible Wayne Gretzky story in my video that comes out tomorrow that somebody shared. as an experience he had as a kid. And so very cool that kind of, made it, and that there's that tie into my episode tomorrow. I do have to say, Bob Boozle once again wins the comment of the night. So Mookie, you have your work cut out for you. My wife,
Hall of Fame. They're Hall of Fame commenters. That's
Hall
why.
of Fame. Hall of Fame. Andrew Deutsch, I don't know where you are. We miss you, buddy. If you're listening, come back. We need you. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a little bit of a turn. Again, 121 of you in the chat. Appreciate you all so much. We are going to take a look at a quick clip, and then I want to get a little round robin on what everybody thinks of this. So changing things up, we're going to come back to sharing some cards in a moment. But first, let's do a little change up and take a look at this recent news, because I have to know what everybody thinks about this.
So this card started out on its journey last year, like a year ago, and graded well before that. You can see maybe you can't see, but the serial number was 00073, whereas now there's 001. So we've moved a whole to the 10th power in from there. So this was a BGS 9.5, and then this went to SGC and came back authentic evidence of trimming. The second time that I sent it to SGC, more recently, it got a 9. I had sent it to PSA where it got a 6 the first time, and then it got an 8. We went to TAG and they said, do not hold or oversized. Arena Club 8.5, CGC 9. So we're running the whole gamut from 6 up into the 8s, 9s, 8.5, 9.5 True Gem. And now we have officially broken the internet. My work is done.
Now, all right, I just put a link to Jeremy Lee's book link in the chat again. Darren hadn't seen that yet. So the person I most want to hear right now, Darren, your thoughts on that whole thing?
Not surprising.
That's it.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny. It just goes to show like how, I don't know, it's unsurprising. And I do think it's funny that he got trimmed, and then one said trimmed, one said oversized. Like it's the fact that it's a joke. I'm not shocked.
Does it affect how you would potentially be purchasing anytime soon? Does it affect like the way that grades impact your decision making? Does it do anything moving the needle in how, as a collector, you buy?
Not really. I mean, I'm not going to send my PSA 10 Griffey in to get regraded, but other than that, no.
I love Darren's BP right now is just like I gotta throw out Brian Kane out there. Thank you for your purchase of the Strongsville pickup of the book. Petty, all right, I gotta hear your thoughts, Petty. Where are you at on this, buddy?
I mean, it is par for the course, pretty much. I mean, to have that crack, what I find fascinating is that must have been $2,000 worth of grading right there, going back and forth and trying to get that in time. Because if you did that experiment, that's about a 6-year experiment.
I was gonna say, I'd take forever.
8 months. I mean, on a regular, seriously, send it into PSA, and you're going to wait 8 months. Their 90 business days or 95 business days is now 8.5 months. So, I mean, it's absurd, and it also basically just proves that they cannot tell if the card's been altered or not. Let's just face facts. That's what we always wanted them for from the beginning, is to tell me that my card is not altered or it has been altered. When you have one company saying it's too big, one is evidence of trimming, and you have others that, the grades like that from 6 to 9, it is absurd. I would not give any of those grading companies 1 more cent of my money. Not a penny going forward. No.
Tony, nothing. Where you at, buddy? Does this affect anything?
So the crack and resend cards thing, to me, is something that I see modern guys do all the time, because there's like a small little window between a 8 and a 10. And if it gets an 8.5, they send it back trying to get that magical 10. They wipe the dust off of it. They do what they can. And I thought they were crazy. I was thinking, that's so freaking stupid. But now I know why you do it, man. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. So why not play the lottery? And you keep getting 9s, keep sending it back. Maybe one day it gets a 10. So now it makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is the wild swings in value.
Yeah.
When a card has that 8 or has that 9 or has that 10, that like everybody in the chat is joking that there's a wheel randomizer. And it's like, I mean, but and there's even the quote that I would play it right now, but we're not on, we don't have my media assets in here because I'm on For Collectors, but it's the whole thing with Ryan Hogue where he says, yeah, I mean, you send in a card, could get an 8 one time, next time might get a 9, next time might get a 7. It's like, well, that's cute, except the 9 might be worth 20,000 and the 7 might be worth 500.
Yeah.
And whose fault is that, right? Whose fault is it that one time the grade changed from an 8 to a 9 or an 8 to a 7 is that wide of a discrepancy? The only people that can fix that is us. So at some point we have to look in the mirror. Jeremy, I think you're over. Are you over on time? Are you good to stay right now? And if not, or where are you at? You tell me your thoughts.
I just put a message in my live stream chat saying we're starting 5 to 8 minutes late. So
okay. I appreciate you. Your final thoughts before you check out. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks,
Special
man.
guest indeed. Jay Lee is special. Tell us where you're at before you bounce.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys, and thanks for sharing the link to my book, Greg. Really appreciate that. Where am I at? I'm with all of y'all. I mean, number one, there's nothing surprising about it whatsoever. There's nothing surprising. This is not shattering news. This is not a revelation. It's the way grading is. People have been cracking and resubmitting for at least a decade and a half, if not longer, hoping for the better grade. So, your question as to does this change how you buy? No, because I've been aware of this for a long time, like many of you and us and you have. So it doesn't change how I buy, but it does. What it really calls attention to is that you really need to look at the card. And again, this is not big advice that no one's heard before or told before, but you got to just buy cards you like, and the number on the slab, it's almost meaningless in a way. And I have zero. I always start by saying I have like close to zero respect for the number on the slab. So, but I still buy graded cards. I won't pay for. I will almost never pay for grading myself. I love buying cards that are already graded because I know that I can buy, I can buy 5s that are in 1 slabs. I can buy ones that look like 6s for some little technical reason, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I guess in one way, in one, on one hand, I don't like it because I think that, those of us that are buying undergraded cards, from an eye appeal perspective, we're going to have more competition now. I think more and more people are going to lose respect for the grade on the slab. And one thing I'll say, I've heard some commentary that even the AI company got it wrong talking about Tag. And I'll just tell you that Tag didn't grade it because it didn't fit in their slab. That's the only reason why they didn't grade it. Other cards fit in their slab. Any other 2.5 by 3.5 inch card fits in their slab. If they didn't slab it, it's because it literally didn't fit in, which means that anyone who said it was undersized or trimmed, they don't know how to measure. They made a mistake measuring or something like that. So it is what it is. It's the world we live in. It's better to know what's going on than not. And now that more and more people know, I think that puts the collector more in the driver's seat than we have been in the past. So
yeah, well said.
Them are my thoughts.
Well said. Appreciate you hopping in with us, my friend. You are the king of live streams. So to have you on one that I get to host on For Collectors is sort of like the whole trifecta for me. So we appreciate your time.
We love you, Jay Lee. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
love you
Cards
guys.
Live Saturday nights. Last night was awesome. I absolutely loved it. I mean, what can you say? And again, when everybody is done here, head on over to Sports Cards Live tonight. You got a watch party going on for is it our Fanatics Live, right? Fanatics.
Yeah, the Fanatics Weekly. I better get over there before they start without me. So
right.
guys,
Porto's on me in Burbank.
So
Porto's on me at Burbank.
Thank to the For Collectors and Midlife Nation chats. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
And we'll see you again soon. Thanks, Greg. Bye-bye.
You got it, buddy. All right. A couple things I want to throw in there before we completely change course again. Dan did an interview yesterday on Hobby Hotline, the morning show on For Collectors Hobby Hotline, where Teapot was on with him. And Dan went into an interview with Teapot about the whole situation. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out on the For Collectors channel. Also on the Sports Card Clubhouse channel today, Mike Junkwax Hero had a video that posted a few hours ago with Teapot about it as well. So check those two out. I think hearing from Teapot and kind of, his thought process as he went through it is certainly interesting. Okay. Next thing I want to do with you guys is look at the next category of cards. We did meaningful. Now we're going to do a different category, which is a childhood card. So let's take a look. We're going to mix up the order a little bit, and we'll start with Tony so we can all go after him this time. Tony sharing a childhood card. Tell us about these.
So I don't really know. My mom somehow came up with this laminate stuff where you could put the clear like stick stuff to it. And man, this was in 1980. I was 12, 13 years old. And I thought, man, these were the two prized cards in my collection. And other than my 59 mantle, and I'm so glad I didn't laminate that. but I thought I'm going to try this. And I still have them. Like I put the laminate on the front and back. It's like a card saver you can't take off. And so it just reminds me of childhood innocence, man. It's just cool. Like, yeah, I ruined the card trying to do something great so that they would last forever. And they did. So I guess it worked, but it just takes me back to my childhood, man.
I love that. I know exactly the laminate stuff you're talking about. We definitely had some of that in my house. Dad earmuffs. I may have used some of that laminate at one point to make a fake ID. All right, let's keep going. I will tell that story another time. Because I don't know what what is it? How many years can go by before you can get arrested for something?
Right, I'm sure he knows.
My dad wouldn't have even cared. I will say this too. I haven't shared this yet, but literally as we hit the air today, I won an eBay auction with my absolute max bid for a goal card that Darren and I have from our goal card video. One of my 12 goal cards, I actually got one of them, and literally to the penny, my max bid, which means the threshold of the jump, and it was not a cheap card. So I am a little bit in shock on that. Also, I have to give shout outs. I had a couple of people just a second ago. I already lost them. I will find it. 2 more people just bought the book for Strongsville pickup. So thank you to those people. I will get the names in just a second. Let's first now, though, go to Darren sharing his 41 play ball Hank Greenberg. I didn't even think you were that old, Darren. So the fact that you had this card from childhood is fantastic. I
pulled this out of a pack when I was, no, so when I was probably 10, 11, 12, something like that. My dad, my brother, and I went to Cooperstown, and we went in. Obviously, Cooperstown, other than having the Hall of Fame, if you haven't been there, you should go, because it's the only place you'll ever go where Main Street has like 15 vintage card shops on it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I bought this. My dad bought the Ted Williams from the same set, obviously raw back in the day. And then, this is one of the few cards that I kept from when I was a kid, because it was, when I got rid of when I kind of stored all my other stuff that I collected, all the junk wax. This one I didn't store because to me it was really cool because it was, so old, and, it was a, dead Hall of Famers card, right? So I kept this one in one of the screw downs, and luckily it didn't squish it enough to, say altered. So when I sent it to PSA, it got a 2. And it's one of the few cards I still have from when I was a kid, and it's meaningful just because when I bought it with my dad and my brother when I was a kid, and I still have it. So,
and it's a 2.
And it's a 2, so Dean probably wants to steal it from me.
Yeah,
I haven't
he's
seen
really
a
jealous.
Dean sighting yet tonight. This is fantastic. Greg Papagiorgio, if you watch Vegas Vacation, and you know that reference very well.
Thank you, Mr. Papagiorgio.
The 2 people I've gotten payment from, Logan and Nicole. So I appreciate you guys for buying the book for Strongsville Delivery. That's going to be really fun. Again, that's going to be at the 4 Collectors Trade Night, April 11th. There's going to be free pizza, sponsored by CIA Auctions. That is going to be a good time. I know all 4 of us will be there, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Brian, the High Pop Professor, I recorded earlier today with him and Iconic Al. And in the episode with them, I was going in detail about the card that I just won and asking them for advice. And I will say their advice is the only reason I got the card, because I was not going to bid enough. So, all right, next we've got Petty. We've seen this card before, but this story never gets old. Tell us about it, buddy.
Well, you asked for it. So,
yep.
Yeah, it's my original card, the first oldest card that I ever had in my collection when I was like 12, 13 years old. It managed to stay with me despite selling my childhood collection. And then when I collected 1956s back in the 80s, and I had a lot of different cards, sold 4 or 5, old sets after my divorce, get back on my feet, helped quite a bit. I was able to keep less cards that time, but this one managed to stay with me. And I have it, you guys saw it right here in my office in my little shadow box here. And this is pretty much the way I got it. Now the back is just, I use duct tape on the back to stick it up on my, and so every time, it just rips the back apart. It's not important, the shape that it's in, but the fact that it's been with me, it's really special.
It is really special. Yeah. And there is another guy in the community.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Greg.
Guys.
We lost.
Can everybody get up? Hey, sorry, I froze. I'm back. If I freeze, I was having internet issues earlier today. So if I freeze, Petty's in charge. Not really. Tony's in charge, or Darren. I don't care. I will say this:
anybody but Petty's in charge.
This card is a total beater, and there is somebody with a nickname, and his nickname is Beater Joe. And what would be just absolutely fantastic is if we had a second guest join us on cue. Beater Joe himself. There What's he up, is. Beater Joe?
What is happening, everybody? Good to
We're keeping things light here tonight. So, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. I mean, it's been an emotional show. I've had my Kleenex box out. And,
man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. That was stupid.
No, it wasn't. It was
awesome.
Everyone's sharing their memories, and it's beautiful. Here we are on a Sunday, and I actually like getting back to some of these basics of why we're in the hobby and how it supports our emotional world. It lets us talk about our feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know how much
I hate
love
that.
talking about feelings, right?
Feelings.
Hey, Greg, I just wanted to ask: are we allowed to swear on this show? Are we allowed to swear?
I mean, it's not my channel. I don't care what you guys do. You can do anything you want.
You know, Jay Lee, he runs a tight ship, and when you get the instructions for a Jay Lee show, it's like no swearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very well trained, and I'll watch my mouth. Hey, Darren, good to see you, buddy. We haven't met yet, but I love your content. I love your collabs with Graig, and look forward to meeting you in person someday.
Yeah, nice meeting you too.
We're desperately working on getting Joe to the national. We're trying, and we're just pulling on his shoestrings and everything. I hope you're serious, Chris. If so, fill out the form, buddy. So I know, because I can't keep track of everything and remember everything, but I hope you're serious.
Yeah, you make a half valley,
Chris,
on multiple levels. We got Jake in the house. Okay. So the next thing is a special gift card. Okay. So let's go take a look at special gift cards. Again, we're going to mix up the order. And this is, I mean, Tony's going to do it to us again, I think. What are we doing here? Go ahead, Tony. Tell us your special gift card.
So this is the first gift card I ever received. So it's special because of that. But it was, when would this have been? I don't know. But whenever it was, I went down to FAU. Presley, they had won the conference, and they had them back the next spring. So it would have been about 2 years ago in 24, I guess. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She had to go back and get her conference championship ring and her all-conference trophy. So I reached out to my buddy Orlando, who he was my buddy, but not really my buddy. I'd only met him once at the YouTube get-together at the National in Cleveland. And I said hello to him. He didn't know who I was. I didn't have a channel then. And we had a little conversation. But I just reached out and said, hey, man, there's a cool museum up here in Boca on FAU's campus. Would you like to meet me and go to that? And he said, sure. So he comes and meets me, and he hands me this card, and I was blown away. It was from his amazing Goodwin Champions collection. He had doubles, and he gave it to me, and he said, I wanted to give you this because you're the new strongest man of YouTube. Unbeknownst to me at that time, he already knew he was having some health issues. I'm pretty sure he knew that he was more than likely he had cancer. And for him to give me the strongest man before that became public is kind of ironic, man. So this card means a lot, and for a lot of reasons. And Orlando proved to us that he is the strongest man in YouTube. So
you better believe it.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, I don't know if I can hang out with you anymore, Tony. This is too much. Yes.
Hey, I didn't cry, man.
And
Thank
you know
God
what else?
We're going to talk about values on The Odd Couple, and all this crying shit's going to stop. Petty minute. He told me I better shut up when he's talking.
So Orlando just said I was with cancer, but kept it from me. So we were talking about our family, sitting there eating lunch and all that kind of stuff. And but this is the card he gave me that day, and it's just very sweet of him to do that. And Orlando's, he's a saint, man. So
that's a man right there.
Yeah. And I got to say this too, is Dean, Darren's brother, is a really good artist in digital art and stuff. And he made a custom card, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong out there. He made a custom card for Orlando, which he sent to Orlando, which I believe Orlando showed on his channel, which is this card with Orlando's head on the card, which is pretty cool as well. So very much. I mean, you guys out there, you wonder why I love these guys. I love these guys because some of what you're seeing tonight is, they're great guys, and they're emotional guys, and I'm very generous. I benefit from their generosity. I benefit from the friendships that these guys have. All right, let's go ahead and look next. We've got Darren. This one I was not ready for. So tell us about this.
So this one is a special gift because my wife, I show cards that my wife gets me on my channel when she gets me cards, and I think she's got a great eye. She picks up really cool stuff for me. This was the first baseball card she ever got me. We were still dating at the time, and she picked me up a Robin Yount rookie card and an 8.
No wonder you married her.
I know. I married up, Patty.
You did.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So she bought me this, and it's probably my most special gift card because, you know, the fact that it was from her and it was the first one that she got me. And when I was a kid, I always wanted the Robin Yount rookie, and I never got around to picking it up. So when I told her that, she found me one, and she has a pretty good eye. This was the first baseball card she ever bought on eBay. So,
It's funny, Darren. So Darren and I had been friends for, I don't know, maybe a year. And we were in the town that Darren lives for. Lucy had a soccer tournament. So we were in a different state, and we said, dude, we're hanging out. So Darren and I, we decided we're going to go out to lunch, and we're going to bring our wives. And beforehand, we were kind of texting each other like, this is going to be kind of weird because we're going to be talking about stuff and our wives aren't going to care. And so we go into the restaurant and we sit down, and Darren kind of turns to me, and we talk, and like 30 seconds later, we look across the table and our wives are just going da, 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 da. And it was just like, this is perfect. They had their conversation. Darren and I went at it. We just sat there and talked for 45 minutes or an hour. We had a great meal, and it was like they got along swimmingly, and I was like, this turned out absolutely perfect.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. Trying to think, and now we have Petty. I don't remember this story. So Petty, tell us this.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
Tell us the story here, bud.
So, I mean, would you just look at that card? It's got real eye appeal. So last year at the Ontario show, you guys weren't there, but I met a friend of the channel, friend of the show, and we hung out together quite a bit. And it wasn't only this card, but I mean, the first thing he did when he saw me is he said, "I want you to have this card." And you know, this card has been on my list for many, many years. But because, you know, a nice 2 or a 3 at the time was $100 or $200, and now, I mean, you could never find them centered like this. I would never buy it. But this was the first Topps card ever produced in 1952, card number 1. 51, you know, they had the game, cards, but this was the first card, and it's impossible to find centered or in good shape. And you know, the gentleman gave me this card, and I was just flabbergasted that I didn't have it. And I'm a Brooklyn Dodger fan, and it's just something that's really special to me. I mean, the other thing he did that day was I brought a bunch of cards to have PSA reholder, and one of them was a Satchel Paige, which is a prized card of mine, a 1953 Topps in a PSA 4. And he had one that he was going to give to Ash, trading him a bunch of stuff. And I imagine he could have given this card to Ash, and Ash would have taken it, just, you know, like it was nothing. But he said, you know what? He goes, do you like this one that I have instead? It was already had a new label on it. And of course, it was centered and it was nice. And mine was like this, as you might imagine, no terrible eye appeal. I said, I'd love to. I said, can I pay? What can I get? He goes, no, just take it. And so, like, I'm not used to getting gifts, especially cards. You know, I'm not great at giving cards away. I'm pretty stingy with my cards, believe it or not. I'm learning to give a lot more with that. I mean, there's other ways that I'm very giving, but cards ain't one of them generally. Now I give great deals to Joe and to Tony and friends and people in the hobby, people in the YouTube community. You're always going to get a good deal from me. I mean, I'm not going to, you know, grind you for every $50. If I paid certain amount for it and you can take it and trade up, or generally the cards are pretty good or what. I just want somebody else to have them instead of giving them to, you know, a dealer. But that card was really, that gift was very special. As was, like, there's so many gifts though that recently, I always joked, you know, I got crickets. I got nothing. What did you get? Nobody ever gave me any gifts. I never expected any gifts from anybody. But you saw the show we were in, the West Coast there, how that went. I mean, people came up to me and they handed me cards, and Paulie, one of the guys, handed me a nice, beautiful Tom Petty card at dinner. There's another gentleman that handed me a couple of Police Gazette cards of Fernando, and just like really nice people that are giving gifts. And so I'm trying to do that and give more pieces away from my collection. But Dean, another one, sent me a package, with a gorgeous Honest Corner shirt that he made, and with cards in it that, there were just a care package. It was really meaningful. And I just think there needs to be more of that.
Petty.
Am I cutting out?
I think it's you good, Joe?
All right.
I think it's Joe. I think we're good.
Yeah, Petty was smooth.
Well, I was smooth. Okay, but anyway, that's pretty much it. I mean, I just thought that card was way over and above, what anybody should be giving me, and for that I'm grateful. And the gentleman that gave that has been known to give some pretty remarkable gifts to the community, and he's not even have a channel. He's underground, and I mean, I'm not sure that you guys even know who it is. I don't think I told you, but anyway.
I have a guess. I think I have a guess.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, are you good? Can you hear us? Okay, turn yourself off mute, because if you ever questioned, Joe, my production mid-show, you're about to see I was able to slam that together via a text. First of all,
him without a hat?
First of all, Joe just sent me this image a second ago via text. I was able to slap this together on the fly. So sorry, Chad, I've been ignoring you guys, but I was making Joe's slide. Joe, share with us this card, and I'll get caught up with the chat.
Well, before I do that, I mean, this is why, not that I cast a vote, but if I had a vote for, the YouTube Hobby Hall of Fame, one of the many reasons I would have voted for you, Graig, is because you are so good at all the technical stuff, just like this. So anyway, yeah, so this Bird Magic Doc, massive iconic card was a card that I first became aware of in 2001. And me and my best friend were at a cards shop here in downtown Santa Cruz. And it was, I want to say it was the Dugout. And anyway, my buddy Rich, my best friend, someone that I like, we've both saved each other's lives going through Europe and doing all kinds of stuff. He bought it raw. And at the time, I mean, I have a recollection, not that it matters. I don't want to put money into it. But at the time, I think he paid $300 for this card raw. And, we were so excited back then, and we were into basketball cards, and we kick ourselves now because our instincts were like, buy all the Jordans you can, get those star Jordans, basketball at that time was hugely underrated. So anyway, flash forward to, I think it was like 2012. My buddy Rich was getting married. And we were up there at Echo Lake, California, where he was going to get married on his dock. His family has had a cabin up there since the 30s. They're, an old redwood cabin, and many of the people up there have connections with UC Berkeley. And so anyway, he wanted to get married on his dock that, at the cabin where his grandfather had built. And done a lot of stonemasonry, actually, which may make certain people very amazing craftsmanship up there in the mountains there. But anyway, so right before, we came over, the bride was still on the other side of the lake, and it was just me and Rich there in the cabin. And he took me into, the room. We were sort of trying to spec everything out on the dock to get the ceremony ready. But he took me up to the cabin. He said, "There's something I want to give you." And I was like, "Oh, well, Rich, you don't have to give me anything here at 8,000 feet in the Sierras." He's like, no, it means a lot for me, for you to be my best man. And, I want to give you this. And so he pulled out the very card that you're looking at, which, you know, I was, you know, you almost want to give something like that back. It's like, no, you keep it, you keep it. But in that moment, it was a meaningful thing, obviously, for him to be giving it to me hours, like an hour, 45 minutes before he was about to you know, say his vows and marry his wife. And so anyway, I took it, and then a little bit later, I actually sent it off to Beckett. It might have even been, I might be getting the dates wrong. It might have been more like 2007, because it's a very early Beckett label, as you can see, with the subgrades on the front. It's got this bronze flip in the thing, and frankly, it's one of the nicer copies I've ever seen. Really, there's no snow. The only thing wrong with it, truly, and is the centering, the you know, horizontal left to right centering. So anyway,
it looks pretty good to me, and I don't see that that normal
nice.
ink spot. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thanks. So that's a meaningful gift and a very important. I mean, this one would cover a couple of the categories, because I know the last one you did was a card with a special story. So this one's both a gift and a story.
Awesome.
I got to say this too. I know that Joe loves this guy, because Joe was driving near my house about 6 months ago. Not even 6 months. Yeah, 6 months ago. He was driving near my house, and I mean, he was literally, he's like, "Hey, I'm about in this area." I go, "Dude, you're like down the street from me, like 5 minutes away." And I said, "Joe, come swing by." And he goes, I can't. I'm going up to see my buddy. This is the buddy. And he's like, "I can't come by. I can't drive 5 minutes out of my way." So he just said, "I can't. I'm sorry." He just kept on going right on down the road. And then Joe, about 30 minutes later, what happened? Not even that, 20 minutes later, what happened, Joe?
Well, there had been an accident on Highway 50 up there towards the Tahoe, you know, summit, and I was stuck in traffic in a town called Placerville. Everyone should go visit Placerville at some point. There's a nice Foster Freeze and a lot of antique shops. But yeah, so I got my instant karma there for not stopping, for not just taking a right and going a mile down the road to see Graig. I was late, though. I was already late, and it was important for me to get up there. But yeah, that's one of those ones where if I had it to do again, I probably would have pulled over.
Oh, Greg's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen.
Eddie, you're in charge.
All right, I'm in charge. So, guys, let's talk about the YouTube Hall of Fame and how this guy down here, this frozen poor guy, did not get elected to the Hall of Fame. I mean, what are you guys thinking that you don't include Midlife Crisis to the Hall of Fame, right? I mean, there's not a guy who does more hobby building in this community and that puts on live shows and 3 times a week that puts up content like he does for 3 years. Oh, you're back. Yeah, unfortunately for you, you put me in charge if you ever went blank, and that was bad.
Well, I gotta say this. That was like, it was so, that was God's way of saying it was so painful for me that you just drove by that I couldn't even hear your excuse and all your issues. It was like, I'm not even going to let Graig hear Joe's explanation of how he wishes he had done it instead.
Well, let's get back to the feel-good story of 2026 instead of what I was talking about. I was talking about how you were shafted in the YouTube Hall of Fame.
Did you really? Did you really?
Yeah. I might have spilled a couple of beans here and there.
Yeah, well, Dustin did open a new Hall of Fame today. So
it means nothing. It means nothing.
Petty opened a new Hall of Fame. He has the patch for it.
Yeah, I got it right back there. And if Dustin's not careful, he's going to be in it. Let me get that patch for him.
Oh Lord, I should have said that.
All right. Well, I got one last thing I want to ask you guys. And Joe, you know I'm busting your balls because I love you. I wouldn't if I didn't.
Joe, the card was awesome, by the way. And
it was awesome. And that's a great story.
I almost cried, Tony. I was right behind you there. I was getting my tissues out here.
Anyway.
All right.
That was a good story.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to a question that was asked earlier, and I want to ask your guys' thoughts on it as we wrap up here. I know For Collectors usually wraps up at about an hour, sometimes goes a little bit. 119 of you guys out there, we appreciate you. But this is my question, and I want to start with you, Tony, and there's a reason why. So this is the question. Do you think we can have a raw card revolution? To be honest, I prefer raw eye appeal cards first. Cards were around long before grading companies. I'm just a dreamer. Now, the reason I wanted to ask that to you, Tony, is because I know that you're building a set, and a lot of the cards in the set that you're building, you have left raw, and you've talked many times to me, and I think you've mentioned on the channel too, how much you like being able to look through the cards and how nice they look in their unslabbed form.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that we could go quote unquote backwards to where we start to do less slabbed cards, or even start cracking cards out of slabs, because they do look really good in top loaders and they look really good in semi-rigids? Do you think that that's a possibility, Tony?
I don't think people are going to start cracking them out just so they can feel them and touch them. Although I did do that one time just so I could see how thin a 1914 Cracker Jack was compared to a 15. I did that on Jeremy Lee's show and showed it all. I remember Joe told me to quit shaking it so hard because he's afraid it's going to crack in half. But yeah, I do love the raw ones. I've got some raw cards that honestly I could have sent in, years ago that I've bought raw on eBay. And I just like them raw, man. They're in my collection. I ain't planning on moving them. The only problem with if you go all raw, some of these big auctions and things that you can buy, they're thousands of dollars, man. Having that thing slabbed and authenticated gives me a little bit of peace of mind, knowing that today a guy sent me a 1951 Bowman Whitey Ford. It's signed. He said he was interested in. He said it's only a 1. Can you figure out why? And so I pulled it up on the PSA site and look at the scan, and you could see there was a wrinkle right through his eyeball. And because you couldn't see it on the picture he was looking at, he didn't know to do that. So I showed him how to do that. So that does give you peace of mind, man. When you're buying stuff online, sight unseen, if all you do is buy at card shows, cool. But if you're buying stuff even from auction houses, man, that'd be a tough one to spend $10,000 on a raw card. Even these ones I'm buying that are raw, they're expensive. I mean, they're $300 a piece, but they're coming from reputable people, and it's a little harder to fake a Cracker Jack, honestly. So that's just my 2 cents.
How about you, Darren? I haven't heard from you in a minute. What do you think? Is that possible that people start to go raw card revolution?
Is it possible that people could? Sure. I'm sure there are people that would want to do that. I personally wouldn't. I like to buy the grade, not the card. That way I could track the value easier. Other than that, though, yeah, and I think I don't think so. I think that obviously people have always collected raw cards, even now, right? But I think since so many people have, I don't want to step on toes, but since so many people have invested in cards that are graded by different grading companies, that I don't think the sheer amount of money in it would support people cracking them out and saying, well, now it's just the pure raw card. I think as a hobby, the hobby's past that. Not completely, obviously, but I think to an extent the hobby's past that. And I think it also kind of depends on where you're collecting and how you collect. So, but me personally, no, I wouldn't do that.
What do you think, Joe?
I like what both of our esteemed colleagues have contributed to this topic. I would say for me, there's just sort of a threshold where when the value gets to a certain point, I like having it secure. I mean, I live in an ocean environment, and so part of it is just even protection. Mm-hmm. But once you cross certain thresholds, I feel like some degree of security is good. But I agree with the original poster. I love, in in the, like, I don't know, let's just say like a 1958 Jim Gilliam, right? Like, let's just keep, let's say it's in a, it's a strong VGX. It's like, yeah, let that baby just stay raw. I mean, it's beautiful as is. So like, I get the impulse, but I think there's, or a 53 Gilliam, that might be a little more.
Look how beautiful that is. I got that off eBay, man.
Exactly.
I'm not grading that. Why would I grade it? Look how perfect it is.
Wow.
I love it.
Tony, we had a psychic connection there.
I know. When you said Gilliam, I was like, that's it.
I have every Jim Gilliam card, and they're all not graded. Oh, well, other than my 53 is graded.
He seems to be someone who every card they made is a beautiful card. I have a Red Heart Gilliam. I have a 53 Gilliam. I have a 58 Gilliam. I have a 59 Gilliam with the pink, the nice pink, hard to find centered.
All right, Petty, final thoughts on that.
Yeah, I love raw cards. So I have just as many raw cards as I do graded cards. As you know, I have about 1,500 to 1,600 cards, and half of them are graded, half of them are not. And I have some player runs that I've been on that are partially raw and partially graded. And I love the raw cards, and there's the guys of the maybe, but I think when you get to a certain level, like Joe and Tony and Darren have said, I mean, the wallet is what speaks. You cannot spend $2,000-$3,000 on a raw card and have it be trimmed, even if because I've seen a lot of cards and I can't tell. I could try to match them up with a card that's like, the same year and all that, and look at it. But if I'm spending that much money, unfortunately, it has to be graded. But on these, and maybe there are people that crack them out these days still, and they want to see them all in binders. I even saw somebody the other day that had binders where he had graded cards. He had he's probably in the chat right now. He had a Sandy Koufax run, and he's got graded cards in there, and in between he's got the raw cards in the binders. And I thought that was pretty impressive because, I mean, that's the way to collect the cards. You find a good card that you like, or maybe you had it since you were a kid or what. And there's another one. You haven't done anything with that yet.
This is a little shout out to Penny Sleever. They sell these one touches for all different size cards. So I've got that one. I've got this one. So, they're all different sizes. This is oversized. This is small. Fits in there snug and perfect. You can take it out, touch it. So I haven't graded those,
And it's funny because you also don't need to have PSA tell you that those are real or not, because the signatures by now.
Yeah, and the thing is too, with PSA and how long it's taken to send those in now, get them back, man. Screw that. If I'm going to grade those, they're getting graded at the national and the 1 day turnaround, or I'm not doing it at all.
They're beautiful.
Those cards are a lot of people's grails, and if you didn't notice, both of the cards Tony showed were actually autographed too in ballpoint pen.
Gorgeous cards.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. I just got to wrap this up with a couple of things. I actually reached out to Fort Collectors and I said, hey, listen, March 1st is the day that my book goes on sale. I want to do a live stream. I don't want to compete with you guys. I know you do your Sunday live streams. Is it okay if I host Fort Collectors so that I can do a live stream? I could shout out my book, which I worked hard on. I think people will really like it. And so I wanted to go live today. And Theo and Dan and Jason and Caesar and John were super gracious and let me take the stage tonight. So obviously my joke in the preview thing was that I was, I broke in and took over, and Dan's been joking about that all night. But this was a big deal for me, and a culminating event for me to be able to share with everybody was super important to me. And so again, thank you to the guys at 4 collectors, all 5 of them. Great guys. This is a great channel. They're awesome for the community. I appreciate all these guys very much.
Me
Again,
too.
my book is for sale. If you're interested at all, I'd appreciate it. If not, thanks for listening to me drone on about it all weekend. I promise soon I'll stop talking about it. But it's sort of a lot of work went into it, so I appreciate it. And look at this. Oh, I got to show this. Look at this. I don't know how we qualify for football biographies, but we're the #1 new release in football biographies. Look at that, guys.
Take it where you can get it, brother.
I knew.
#1 bestseller. Bestseller already.
Yeah, look at me, man. I'm making waves out there. So all those football biography folks, I think all those editors are going to be knocking down the door here pretty soon. So
you'll be on Oprah Winfrey's book club.
I don't know about that, but you guys, everybody out there, appreciate you all very much. Dan, I see you back there. Do you want to hop on with us for a second, Dan, or are you just wanting to hang out after? Give me a thumbs up. No, okay. Oh, yeah.
Hey, shout out to Carl from Oz, who's just recovering from a broken hip as well.
Yeah, very much. Carl, we love you. I think he said he dropped off a second ago. He's still planning on making the trip to. I wouldn't make the trip across the world to Australia for a card show, even if I didn't have a broken hip. But I think Carl's saying he's going to do it. So
he's still coming to Strongsville.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Awesome.
And he
That's
actually,
awesome.
after Strongsville, he's going to swing through Sacramento, and he's going to go to a Sacramento A's game with me and Coach. So
nice.
Yeah. So, hey, appreciate you, Double D. Everybody out there, thanks again. To my crew on the stage, thank you guys for joining me on this special day for me personally, but also for this fun crossover with 4 Collectors. So again, April 11th, the 4 Collectors trade night at Strongsville. CIA is the title sponsor of that. Thank you to them. And again, thanks to everybody for coming out tonight. Still got 100 people in the chat. You guys are what make this fun. Thanks for coming out.
They are. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks
for watching. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Last year, we at 4 Collectors hosted the first ever vintage trade night in cooperation with the Strongsville Sports Collectors Convention, and it was a massive success. With the help of our generous sponsors, Collector Investor Auctions, and a few of my favorite things, we are doing it again. After the show on Saturday, April 11th, come to the Independence Holiday Inn for free admission, giveaways, door prizes, and free pizza. This year, it's going to be bigger and better, so be there.
Got this at trade night, at vintage trade night.
Did you really? I didn't know that.
I've been looking for this all week.
Who'd you buy it off?
It's not downstairs, it was up here.
Wow.
This is the place to be.